Hello everyone. For better understanding about the foreign exchange market, as in the last few lectures we have discussed about the various terminologies which are being considered while calculating the foreign exchange rate, like the exchange margin, direct quotation, forward margin. All this we have already discussed. Again, we also require one more important aspect of foreign exchange calculation, that is known as the base rate. In today's lecture, we will discuss that how to calculate the base rate. What is a base rate? Who gives the base rate? And how it is being calculated. Along with that, we will also discuss that what are the types of market which are being considered by the bank for buying and selling. That means I'm trying to say the home market, which we say as interbank market or the international market. These are two markets which are being considered. One is known as interbank market, another is known as the international market. These two markets are being tapped for various reasons for calculating the rate of foreign exchange. This we will take up in today's lecture. We were discussing regarding the basic conceptual aspect of foreign exchange, and till date we have discussed what we mean by foreign exchange, about the market, about the type of accounts. Then we have discussed about the exchange margin, the forward margin, factors affecting, and even yesterday we have discussed regarding that how the exchange quotations to be written, that what will the style of writing the exchange quotation. And as we have discussed, that banks are playing an important role. One concept, small, base rate. If you have noticed yesterday lecture, I have mentioned this word few times, base rate. That what is base rate? Base rate means the primary rate. Base rate can be the initial rate over and above the other margins, that is forward margin and exchange margin, to be loaded. So where the forward margin will be loaded, where the exchange margin will be loaded, that all these two will be loaded on the base rate. So base rate is the primary rate or the initial rate quoted by the market. Basically, as we are also aware now that banks do not maintain the physical possession of the foreign currency. They do not hold physical currency. They maintain the foreign currency only in electronic form in their account, that we are aware. Because I have given the example and the concept also, that basically the physical holding of foreign currency is always done by the country through which it has been issued. And in other country, only the transaction recorded is being done. Transaction is being recorded. That means bank is not maintaining the physical holding of the foreign currency. Secondly, I have also shared with you that mostly few currencies are traded in our home market as well as in the international market. That means, in nutshell, what I am trying to say, our local banks or our home banks, we can say, our home banks, they are dealing with foreign currency only with respect to those currencies which are being purchased or sold by them. That means if there are 100 currencies
it is not possible that a bank is dealing in all 100 currency. It may be dealing in 2 or 3 currency. It may dealing in 5 to 10 currency. In the same way, other banks may also be dealing in 5 to 10 currency. That means if we try to see the total currencies which are easily available in India, they are very few. They are very few. And we have named them also, like USD, like pound, Japanese yen, euro. These are the 4 to 5 few foreign currencies which are easily available in our home market. This we have already discussed. And the reason we have said that as these currencies are maximum in demand in our home market, maybe due to trade, or it may be due to the purpose of tourism, or it may be due to trading of those currencies. So very few foreign currencies are easily available in our home market, that is for sure. But a customer can deal in any currency. The customer can deal in other currency which is not easily available. So on this context, there are two type of market. The market we have already discussed, wholesale market and retail market. That market I'm not saying. I'm saying for buying and selling of foreign currency, we are taking two market. One is known as home market and one is known as international market. And this home market we are saying as interbank market, and other I am saying as international market. Interbank market means our home market, the market which is available within India, and to be very precise, I can say the market which is available between the banks of home banks, we can say. That means if SBI is having the requirement of Japanese yen, then either the SBI can take the Japanese yen if they are holding Japanese yen in the electronic form, or they can get purchase from the other Indian bank only. So if they are able to get the requirement of any foreign currency which is demanded by their customer from themselves or from the other banks, then that can be said as an interbank market. As the name itself says, interbank, that means market between the banks. And if that currency is not available in the interbank market, then they have to refer the international market. And I have already said that international market generally we say as London market. And here I am saying the market between the home banks. So I give you a situation. Suppose a customer approached the bank. A customer approached the bank for buying USD. Customer approached the bank for buying 10,000 USD. Now the bank has to quote the selling rate of USD. That means customer is demanding 10,000 USD.
So bank has to quote the selling rate of USD to the customer. So that selling, as USD is a very easily available currency, so the bank will not face any problem, and they will approach the interbank market. Interbank market means currency available with themselves. If it is available with the bank itself, they will quote the rate, and if it is available with the other bank, then they will try to purchase and quote the rate. So they will take the rate from the interbank market. That means what is happening? What is happening? There is one customer, the other party I am said is the customer bank. So one is the customer, one is the customer bank. Now this customer bank will move to the interbank market for acquiring the foreign currency. That means customer want to buy, so bank has to give the selling rate. The bank has to give the selling rate. So what the bank will do, bank will approach the local interbank market. You can say as interbank market, or you can say as local interbank market. It can be said as local also. Local interbank market or interbank market, anything you can say. So bank will approach the interbank market for buying foreign currency. But as interbank market has to sell, so interbank market will give the selling rate to bank. See what happened. Customer want to buy, bank has to give the selling rate, right? So bank will not give the selling rate, but the bank will try to approach the interbank market and try to purchase the USD from interbank market. But bank is purchasing, but who is giving? Interbank market is giving. So interbank market is selling. So selling rate of interbank market will be applicable. Selling rate of interbank market will be applicable. So this selling rate of interbank market will become as the base rate. This selling rate of so base rate is what? There are one more aspect. One is known as bank, that is our bank, and the other banks, they are known as big bank. What do you mean by big bank? Big bank means the bank who is having the surplus holding of a foreign currency and have the wish to sell those foreign currencies. Simply, business transaction I am saying, goods will always be purchased from that supplier who is having the excess holding of the goods and who wish to sell. That means the rate will be given
by that supplier who is the big seller in the market. Suppose I take the example of vegetables or fruits, suppose the apple. Now the question arises that who decides the apple rate? The customer. The person who is purchasing apple, the person who is the supplier and the wholesaler who is purchasing apple in bulk, in huge bulk, that we can say, and he is further distributing to the various wholesalers and retailers in the market. That person will decide at what rate the apple will be sold in the market. So the rate quoted by the primary supplier about any goods to be sold is known as the base rate of that item. So here also, when we are talking about a foreign currency, so foreign currency basic rate will be given by that bank which is having the holding of that foreign currency and want to sell also. That will become the basic. As I suppose I said the example as Japanese yen. You approach to a bank, suppose Punjab National Bank, and try to get 10,000 Japanese yen. Punjab National Bank was not holding any Japanese yen. He approached to SBI. SBI was holding Japanese yen. Then Punjab National Bank will try to purchase Japanese yen from SBI. So here SBI will become as a big bank and he will quote the rate of selling. Suppose I take the example of Malaysian ringgit. This is the foreign currency which is not available in our home market. So for that purpose, local interbank market is not going to help. Then our bank, that is the Punjab National Bank, will try to approach the international bank, that is the London market, and from there they will try to purchase the Malaysian ringgit and then they will quote to the customer. My basic concept here was to just tell you that what is the base rate. That means the rate, that means whatever the base rate, the rate quoted by the big bank is the base rate. And who is the big rate? Who is the big bank? The bank which is holding the foreign currency and I am saying and wish to sell also, because holding is not going to serve the full purpose. Wish of selling is also one of the important factor to be considered. The rate quoted by the big bank is the base rate. So whatever the base rate is there, on this base rate we can say we have to load forward margin if it exists. Then we have to load exchange margin, and then we get forward rate to be quoted to the customer. This will be the procedure of deciding This will be the procedure of deciding that how the rates will be, how the base rate will be decided and how the forward rate will be decided. That is over.
So at the end, I hope whatever that we have discussed with respect to the base rate as well as home market, that is interbank market and international market, you must have got the information about that. Thank you.